how to cake it. I'm Yolanda. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Today, we are gonna get into making a beach bag cake for a fellow Torontonian YouTuber. She gave me a call. I guess this doesn't make sense anymore.
So true.
Right? She gave me a call. She needed a cake for a party. I'm making her a beach bag because she's spending a lot more time near the ocean. If you think you know who it is, leave a comment below. She will be here at the end of this video to pick up this cake, so you're gonna find out. Let's get started. To begin making this cake, I made an 8-pound portion of my vanilla cake. I dyed 4 pounds of it pink, 4 pounds of it green, and poured them into that's not 2, that's 4. 2 11 by 15 rectangle pans, and then I made an 8-pound portion of my chocolate cake and poured it into a 14-inch square pan. I leveled them and cut off the caramelization from the bottom. When this beach bag cake is done, from the front it's gonna look like a V shape, but from the side it's gonna look like an A shape. So what I wanna do is cut my cake layers into various widths before stacking and building up. This will prevent me from having to carve away too much cake and wasting it. Sir Squeeze-A-Lot is in the house helping me simple syrup my gorgeous cakes, pink, green, and chocolate. This simple syrup is really gonna just add moisture and help lock in all the moisture in the cake layers. Like the ocean. I always describe the ocean as moist. I'm always like, let's go to the moist ocean. Because this cake is going to be high and there's going to be a board in between, I'm going to build 2 halves separately. I almost did this again. That's 4 halves. I begin by making the bottom half of my beach bag cake, and I create a pattern by layering my cakes with chocolate cake, chocolate buttercream, pink cake, vanilla buttercream, green cake, vanilla buttercream, chocolate cake, chocolate buttercream, pink cake. For the top half of my beach bag cake, I continue the pattern where I left off, starting with green cake, vanilla buttercream, chocolate cake, chocolate buttercream, and so on. You can see it now. If you want to learn how to make my Italian meringue buttercream, there's a little icon on the top corner of the screen. Just click it and it will lead you to my tutorial. I take the bottom half of the cake that I just stacked and I flip it over. I'm doing this wrong. I flip it! I'm gonna start by carving the round bottom edges that a beach bag cake would have, because it wouldn't just stand solid and square. I carve along the edges, just rounding off the corners. I already had cut the board to be the right width that I knew my cakes would be, but I just need to cut off those rounded edges. See what I mean? Now I flip that cake back over, flip! And what I'm gonna work on carving first is the front and the back of the bag. I'm gonna continue to carve this cake into an A-line shape to look how it will look from the side. It's time to add the top half of the cake to the base cake, but before I do that, I need some support. I need dowels and a cake board. I cut 10 dowels to the height of the bottom of my cake, inserted them in, and then added the cake board, which is cut to the right width and trimmed at the edges. This is so that when the top half of the cake sits on the bottom half, it won't collapse. Now I add my top half of the cake, but I started to get worried. I was very ambitious. I wanted to make a really tall, deep beach bag. See how I reached in there? Did you catch that? It was too tall. This is not going down, so I'm actually gonna remove the top 2 layers of cake. I removed a green and chocolate layer of cake. What did Sasha and I do with that? I don't know. Now that I've removed those 2 top layers, I need to just adjust my carving a little until I'm happy with the A-line shape. In cake decorating, you have to go with the flow. So just because you plan something in your mind, if it's not gonna work out logistically, then you shouldn't do it. Now I need to carve the beach bag into the V shape that you will see when you're looking at it head on. And I do this by trimming off some cake from either side. Imagine I could do it simultaneously like that. Get your game on, left hand. And the final touch in carving is just to sort of round out those edges. You all know what time it is. That's right. I think they want to hear me say crumb coat and chill. Before I chilled it, I took a sharpened dowel and ran it down right through the center of the cake, holding both cakes together. I couldn't say crumb coat, dowel, and chill. Once my cake is chilled, I give it a nice icing as smooth as I can. I can really see that beach bag formation now. It just looks kind of white and boring right now. I'm gonna have to do something about that, but first I have to chill it again. The first thing I'm gonna do is cover just the thin top of my beach bag cake with some rolled out black fondant. I'm doing this just in case there's any gaps at the top and you can see in, it will look like darkness, like the bag is empty. Keeps the illusion alive. Like this is really a bag. To cover the entire bag, first I roll out a big slab of white fondant. I make sure it's wide enough and tall enough to fit the front of the bag. I just lay it onto my bag, smooth it down with a fondant smoother, and I trim both sides in a nice straight line. Do you know what I used for that? A ruler and a sharp knife.
That's gonna be the challenge, is finding a video where you haven't used a ruler. I don't think we've done one.
Grilled cheese.
Are you sure?
Oh, I did on the cheese.
Yeah.
It's not Rubik's, I'll tell you that.
No.
No, this is a challenge just for you, because I actually don't remember the answer. Is there a cake I've made on How to Cake It where you did not see a ruler? Back to the cake. I cover the back of the cake, cut the seam nice and clean to meet the other seam, and yeah, there's a seam, but it doesn't bother me because bags have seams. I wanted this cake to be really bright and fun and colorful for the amazing YouTuber that it's for. Are you guys guessing? Are you guessing? You know, she's made a beach bag in one of her videos. I actually watched it again just so I could get her essence. So what I did next is rolled out some fondant as thinly as I could, and I'm using yellow, pink, green, and blue. Nice bright shades. From the yellow and blue fondant, I'm gonna cut thick 2-inch stripes, and from the green and pink fondant, I'm gonna cut 1/4-inch stripes. I'm actually gonna use my vegetable mincer to do that. It's really handy. It's time to lay on this colorful striped pattern onto my beach bag. I started by alternating the yellow and blue stripes and leaving white in between, and I'm laying these stripes on horizontally. For a little bit of color in between, I'm adding the thinner pink and green stripes until the pattern is complete. Before I add some black detail to the top of this beach bag, I'm just going to use a nice sharp knife to trim the top as neatly as I can. For the black detail at the top of the bag, I'm rolling out some black fondant into long bands. Now I'm going to add some stitch detail to both of these bands with my overstitch wheel. And then I'm going to add these bands to the top of my cake, meeting at the seams, and I'm actually going to fold the bands over, and then I'm going to trim that folded edge. I use my overstitch tool to add stitch detail to both seams on either side of my bag, because today seams don't bother me. In fact, I'm going to enhance them. I wanted this beach bag to have a cute front pocket because I really value a front pocket. I'm serious. When I buy a bag, there better be some kind of pocket. What? I made myself a cute little pocket template, and I cut a pocket from white fondant, and then I cut a little black band with some stitch detail and a black anchor. Because I watched this YouTuber's video and she put an anchor detail on her DIY. Oh no, I've said too much. I'm gonna assemble my pocket by adding the black band at the top and adding the anchor. I also added stitching along the sides of the pocket, and then add the whole thing to my beach bag cake. I really wanted the beach bag to have like a nice gold rivet detail. What is this? and have a gorgeous rope handle coming out of them. So to create my gold rivets, I rolled out some yellow gum paste, cut basically a circle within a circle, let them dry completely, and then I painted them gold with a little vegetable shortening and gold luster. And then I added them to my bag with some clear piping gel. Now I'm moving on to my rope handles. I really want to make rope handles. I know they're going to be heavy and difficult to attach, but I just feel they're appropriate for a beach bag. For the first handle, I roll out 3 even tubes of fondant, even in width as well as length, and then I basically braid them. Then I trim the ends, and then I add them to my bag, inserting them into the rivets. But this is heavy. We're gonna have some problem with the footage, Jocelyn, because I needed Sasha's hand. True story.
So who was filming?
I don't know. So I needed her to hold one in place while I added the other, because it's quite heavy and it takes a moment for the piping gel I used as glue to start to dry up and really hold it there. Now I'm gonna repeat the same process, making my rope handle for the back of the bag, and I'm gonna add that handle and have it like droop over the front, because we wanna see all that detail. I wanted to tie a scarf onto the handle of the bag. I actually love to take a scarf to the beach because this is what it looks like before I'm in the ocean. So I'll just let you run with that. To create this tie-dye pattern, I rolled out a piece of green fondant and pink fondant, layered them one on top of the other, and then I cut even, somewhat even strips. Then I flipped the strips on their side so you could see pink, green, all lined up. And then I re-rolled this piece of fondant as one into like a 12 by 12 square. But it's important that it's really thin as you can get it. This is where it gets tricky because you gotta work really fast because the fondant is very thin. Pick it up and try to like gather it, touch it very gently, and just sort of add it to the cake. You won't be able to physically tie it around like an actual scarf, but try and make it look like that's what it's doing. Good luck with that. Now, in case you didn't gather, this is how you gather. This fellow Torontonian YouTuber is almost here, but I just thought to myself, I need to add one more detail to this cake. I'm gonna add the letters L and R on either side of the anchor of the bag. Guys, did you get it yet?
Got it.
Oh my god! Oh my, I can't believe this is a cake.
It's a cake, don't pick it up.
Oh my god! This looks like a silk
Scarf.
scarf.
Yes, I did it.
I literally cannot get over that this is a cake.
It's a cake. I know. You're shocked. It's LaurDIY in the house. Well, in the kitchen. Yeah, where's your party? What is it? Like,
it's nothing crazy. It's just like I invited all my friends just to have like one final Toronto goodbye before I kind of relocate half my life over to California.
nice. I
So-
bet they're sad to see you go.
They are. But everyone's really excited about the fact that if they want to come visit, they have a place to stay now.
I've never been to LA. I've got to come.
What?
No.
You've never been?
No.
Oh my gosh, you have to get out there.
Yes, I do.
It's amazing.
I'll bring cake.
Hey, you're officially invited.
Laura, is there a boy in LA?
There is one.
I've seen a few like Instagram accounts dedicated. You're like a celebrity couple. Like they named you.
Yeah, we are Lorex.
I know. Me and my husband don't have a good name. We're Yoda
Oh, you're
because he's David
Oh,
and I'm Yolanda.
So we're gonna be a block away from each other, which is nice. Versus 2,500 miles.
Wow! Check out LaurDIY's channel. It's fantastic. Subscribe to How to Cake It. I will be back next week. Guys, I can't cut this.
I'm sad.
Laura is taking it. However,
What's this?
this is what your cake looks like inside. Cheers. Okay.
Oh my god.
I was so honored that she called me because she wanted a cake. And since then, we've both had the pleasure of being at the YouTube Creator Space opening and at the Creator Summit in New York. And I'm just so proud and honored to be a part of this YouTube community.
I feel like there's a stereotype that cakes that are really pretty don't taste good.
We get asked that a lot.
But this tastes really good.
Thank you.
Yes, finally, we have a witness.
Well, usually I eat it and just like nod to the camera like, guys,
It tastes good.
but what am I gonna say?
But no, it actually tastes really good.
Okay, good.
I know I'm like, my IKEA knives are like the most childish, basic IKEA knife. I'm like, I'm gonna need to get a better knife for this.
Yeah, you need a good knife
like
for
a
the
long
job.
one. Okay.
I'll just show up at your party with a big knife. That won't be
Perfect.
weird, right?
I know, I'm thinking, I'm like, which
Is
IKEA
Laura
knife?
here?
Yeah. I was here to see what I want. I was here to be like, oh.
Actually, I'm doing another collab next week. I'm so excited. Make sure to come back and find out who it is. Well, this is my DIY.
Like, this is how I explain to people, like how I explain it to people about my cooking skills. I make craft dinner from the box instructions. That is the extent of my cooking. No one would ever believe me if I said I made this. Oh my gosh, well thank you so much. This
You're
cake
welcome.
is amazing.
You're welcome. I like it.
Everyone's
I hope you have
gonna
a
be
great
like,
party.
this is like gonna be like the highlight of the party.
Woohoo!
Not over the fact that this is a cake.
It's a cake. I think I should wear a t-shirt that says,
Yes, it's a cake.
it's a cake.
Yeah,
I'm with cake and an arrow.